Yeah, Adrian, good morning. And, I can tell you, you're seeing it on social media. You're certainly feeling it in the building today. A lot of people who were here last year, it's surreal for them to come back and be in the building, 1 year later. Specifically, I'm thinking about a lot of the Capitol Police officers who quite literally were overwhelmed by that mob. We've all seen the images now, hand-to-hand combat with them. That carries some trauma. And unfortunately, a lot of those officers and staffers are carrying that trauma still today. The broken glass is gone. The aftermath has long been cleaned up. But it's the invisible damage from January 6th that still remains.
I woke up at 2 in the morning and I was in that sort of half awake, half asleep phase, and my first thought coming out of sleep was, are there Proud Boys out in the hallway? That's really, I think, the first time that I knew that this was an event that was going to stick with me.
Last year, Rich Lucchetti worked for Congressman David Cicilline. Now, he's one of the many congressional staffers who've since left their jobs at the Capitol. He says the violence of that day prompted his decision.
It just became a question of whether I wanted to continue working in a building that's being actively targeted for violence.
Shortly after January 6th, longtime Republican staffer to the House Armed Services Committee, Jason Schmidt, wrote in his resignation letter, "Some members whom I believe to be leaders in the defense of the nation chose to put political theater ahead of the defense of the Constitution and the Republic." And it wasn't just staffers who felt that way.
There were so many Capitol officers who were stricken, wounded, injured, and afflicted by post-traumatic stress syndrome that a lot of them left.
Congressman Jamie Raskin, member of the January 6th committee, says some Iraq and Afghan war veterans who've become Capitol Police officers say January 6th was far worse than anything they encountered in combat.
These officers need to believe in their hearts that this department cares about them.
Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger says 153 officers have resigned or retired since last year. He says his most important challenge today, push them back! 1 year later, is rebuilding his department. So we talked about President Biden. He'll be here speaking later on this morning. We've also got about 17 senators that are set to take the Senate floor. I imagine that's going to be emotional. That's probably going to be personal reflection of what they and their staff members went through, some barricading for their own safety last year, Adrian.
Joe, I know that you were there on January 6th. Can you reflect on your own personal experience?
I mean, there are things that I'll never forget. The image that really sticks out in my mind, I was one floor below where, when riders came in, and we're seeing those images on television. I remember one Capitol Police officer, there was a group of us, probably a dozen or so reporters and staffers, and then some officers. They started running around. It was clear that these officers were frantic. And I remember one officer specifically, she started crying and running, and we could hear on her radio that there were shots fired. And they basically told a whole group of us, none of us knew what was happening that moment. They just said, run that way, as far away from the middle of the building, the center, as you can. They said, basically, we can't protect you anymore. All of us are all hands on, and the officers ran the other way. I can tell you that shakes you, Adrian, when you see officers very clearly shaken and telling you to just barricade, find a door and close it, and look out for each other. That was the directive that we were given. And again, we heard shots fired. We would learn later that was a police officer or security that fired that shot, but we didn't know what was going on in that moment. It was really hectic. That's, I think, the image that I'll never forget. I'll carry that with me forever.
I can't even imagine what it was like for you being inside that building at the time. But I know that a lot of Americans, even those who only watch the events unfold on video, on TV, they're concerned about this country. They're fearful about what could happen next with civil unrest at an all-time high. We understand that former President Jimmy Carter has also expressed his concern.
He has. Go ahead and put up what he has said in part in his op-ed that he wrote that came out this morning. It says, our great nation now teeters on the brink of a widening abyss. Without immediate action, we are at genuine risk of civil conflict and losing our precious democracy. He raised concerns about what he calls unscrupulous politicians spreading lies that he says undermine people's faith in our democracy, in our elections. He says that is sort of the bedrock of our democracy. And he's fearful that more Americans may potentially see violence as justified because of that. Adrian.
Thank you, Joe, for your reporting and for your personal story as well. It gives some perspective. And you can watch President Biden's speech right here.